Hi, welcome to an episode of Bolt Action 3rd Edition. We're playing a scenario here from 1945 Okinawa. It's Japanese versus the United States Marine Corps. So we have a guest on the channel, it's Russ Wright. He's fluent in the rules, he's going to guide us through the game. This is a demo game here for 3rd Edition Bolt Action, just to give you a flavour of the game, to walk you through how to play it, and hopefully we'll get ourselves a good game here in this episode. So this is roughly a 1250 point game.
Exactly.
Oh, it is on the nose. All right, okay. And then we're going to let Russ run through both of these lists for us. The first up is the Marine Corps here for the United States.
Okay, so this is a 3-platoon force using the new format for version 3. So what have we got? So if I start on the left, and I'll work from there, we have a heavy weapons platoon. Now if you look there, you can see two heavy mortars. They've got a jeep for some transport. You've also got a bazooka team, because a bazooka team now has to come as part of a heavy weapons platoon. And the guy with a pistol at the front is the platoon commander. So that's the first platoon.
Right, so he
could go there, and it's that, yeah, absolutely, that's that
Okay.
group there. So next one is the core force. It's a rifle platoon, which is going to be kind of the core type of platoon, I believe. And you've got a medic on the left. That's an army medic. You've then got a spotter. So that's an air spotter. So that's that chap there, yeah, nonchalantly sitting there with his cap on. You've got a sniper team, which is the chap with his sniper rifle. And if you look, you see the scope.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah, scope on there. Yep.
With his spotter, with his pistol. You've then got 4 squads. 2 of those squads, the 2 at the back, are regular, and the 2 at the front are veterans. So the weapon kit out is they've got 5 rifles, they've got a BAR, and they've got an SMG for most of the units there. And then at the front, you've got Big John, who is the platoon leader. You can see there. And then finally, so where is the 3rd platoon? The 3rd platoon! It's a tank platoon. So you cannot take one tank anymore. You need to take a platoon to get access to armoured vehicles, and a platoon has to be at least 2 vehicles. So you've got there 2 N4 Shermans. The one with a pintle on top is the command tank. So you pay an extra 10 points to make it a command tank.
Okay.
And that is your 15-man late war Marine force.
Okay, and the theme for this is Okinawa.
We're saying Okinawa for this, so about mid-April 1945. The Marine units have been moving north and clearing the island out to the north, where there was less resistance. They are yet to be transferred south, where they're going to end up relieving the US Army, which is getting torn to pieces on the Shuri line
Okay.
by water fire.
Interesting. So that's the list here for the United States Marine Corps. We'll now take a look and see what the Japanese have in their force. So we have a different theme here and a different looking army, which is great. I want 2 contrasting forces here. So Japanese, what do we got?
So this is Imperial Japanese Army, Okinawa. It is also 3 platoons, but as you can see, there's a lot more bodies there, a lot more bodies. And so if we start at the top, so I've got my lines here, each platoon in a line, you can see there are 2 light howitzers with spotters attached. You have the anti-tank gun on your right. You then have a 320mm mortar. Now these were used in Okinawa. I think they were used in the Philippines as well, but that was about it. It's better known as a spigot mortar. And then you have a roquet, which is a tractor pulling stuff into position. And you can see the officer there. He's an experienced vet, because if you look closely, he's lost his left hand. So that's your artillery platoon. You then have 2 infantry platoons. So the 1st infantry platoon in the middle, you've got the platoon leader with 2 concierges on the left there. You then have a 13-man infantry section, a second one next to them. And then the 3rd one, if you look carefully at this 3rd one, on the right, you'll see there are 3 light mortars, 3 knee mortars. Okay. So that's the grenadiers. And they've got a medic. That's it, yeah, those guys there. And they've got a medic in support and a sniper team.
Okay.
Okay. And then the final platoon is 2 regular platoons. Sorry, 2 regular sections. And if you look carefully on the right of each of them, you can see they've got an LMG each. One there. That's right.
Okay.
You've got 2 suicide bombers. You have another sniper, and you have their platoon commander as well.
Okay.
And that is your Japanese army force for this game.
Okay, so that's the two opposing forces. We'll now take a look at the scenario for this game. So we have an objective-based scenario here. Just going to point out 5 objectives as both sides trying to capture this small village. So an objective over on that hill, one next to this large building. We've put another objective at the far end as well, one across there, and then to balance out an objective on this hillside on the right-hand side as well. Anything else to say?
Just to add, the objectives, they do not matter until the end of the game. And it's whoever is on them at the end of the game. To be securing an objective, you need to be within 3 inches of the centre of it.
Okay.
With no enemy units within 3.
Okay. So clear and hold to the end of the game.
Absolutely, and you need to do it with an infantry section or a weapons team. You can't do it with a medic, for example. An officer could, but a medic can't.
A tank?
A tank can't. No, it needs to be boots on the ground.
Interesting. Okay, so that's the scenario, and it's each objective is just worth a point each.
Absolutely.
Right. Okay. So before we get going, Russ is going to explain very briefly the basics of bolt action, how it works, just the very basics, give us an idea of how a game works.
Okay, and we will keep it very simple because of time constraints. So first of all, time phasing of the game. You typically play 6 rounds. And to complete a round, if you have a look at the images there, you'll see every unit has a dice. The Japanese have flashing off those bling gold dice, and our American friends are over there in the khaki dice. So to complete a round, every single unit must have been given an order, which is represented by the unit having a dice put down next to it.
Yeah. Okay. See them dotted
See
around.
them there.
Okay.
And that would be 1 round. So I think the Japanese here got 18 dice, the Americans 15. So 1 round we see 33 orders issued. Now, what order do we do that in? We're actually going to use a bag. So that is an order dice bag up in the corner. We are going to put all of the order dice into that bag. We then randomly draw a dice, and we then allocate it to a unit of our choice. So it's not an I go, you go game. It is randomised drawing, and that can be very important as part of the tactics.
Okay.
Work out what you want to do with it. So that's how we actually structure a game. We do that 6 rounds, and the game's over. So what are the orders? If we have a look at maybe American dice, and there is 6 types of order.
Yeah. So it's a 6-sided dice, and therefore they're able to do 6 different orders that you can do with a unit. Okay. So if I'm getting this right, because I'm new to this as well, so you're seeing each unit has a dice. All the dice for both sides are put into the same bag, and then during a turn you're going to reach in, pull out a random dice, work your way through all of the dice, which means you'll then work your way through every single unit. And once all the units have had an order of some kind, firing, moving, and so on, then the turn comes to an end, the dice go back into the bag, and then you start the next turn. So I think that's the process here. So it's different from perhaps 40k, where one side does everything, then it's the other player's turn. This is individual unit activation, so which makes for some very interesting dynamics for sure. So Russ is going to explain the different orders that you can give to units.
Indeed. So 6-sided dice, there are only 6 types of orders, so that helps to keep the game a bit simpler and faster. So starting on the far left is an ambush order. If I place that dice on a unit, it cannot move. It is sitting there waiting to fire at a target.
Okay.
It can only fire at a unit that moves, that's within range. And once it's done that, once it's triggered its ambush, it becomes a fire order and it has completed its turn.
Okay.
And next to that is a down order. This is what you want to do when you're taking cover. Now this is the only dice that you can draw and play out of sequence, as it were. If your unit is fired at and it hasn't done anything yet, you can choose to duck for cover, and that will improve your saving throw.
Okay.
So next to that is running. So if we don't want to shoot, we don't want to fire, we want to move quickly, we can run. So movement is the same for all infantry units. A run is 12 inches. So any infantry unit, unless they're on horseback, will get to move 12 inches with a run. Then we have advance. This is where you want to move 6 inches, but you are going to get to fire as well, although it's at a -1 as you move forward or fire. And then we've got the fire order. This is where you stay still, you aim at your target and you just fire away, trying to kill or put pins on whatever the enemy unit is. And that final one there, less seen, is a rally order. Now, if your unit has a lot of pins, and we'll explain pins as we go through the game, you may want to get rid of those pins. So one thing you can do is you can get your guys all together, shout at them with a loud voice, place the rally order on, and you remove all their pins. So next turn they are ready to carry on fighting.
Okay. So really, it's all quite self-explanatory, really. It's quite obvious what these are. So ambushing, it's like an Overwatch, you're watching for the opponent moving, and then you ambush them with firepower. This is like a reactive dice. If you're shot at and you haven't yet activated a unit, then you can go down and it can really increase your chances of survival, just hitting the dirt. Running is where you need to get somewhere, not worried about shooting, but really want to move as quickly as possible. Advancing is that compromise where you're moving, but still letting loose with some firepower. And then fire is just all the focus is on sitting still and shooting, and then the rally dice. So all quite logical, really, with the dice. Quite a unique way of playing. But clever enough. 6 orders available, each one there. So each dice has all 6 of those, right? And then what you do is you take your dice and you find your order and then put it onto a unit.
That's absolutely right.
Okay. So we've looked at the structure of a turn and the structure of the game. We've looked at individual unit orders and how that operates during a battle. Is there anything else just for basic coverage of a game?
Just for the basics where we are at the moment, I think that pretty much explains how the turn phases work and what you can actually do with the units. Obviously, it's a little bit more complicated when you look at what do we mean by firing, what are the ranges and weapons, the chances to hit,
yes,
and how do you damage. But the basics are pretty much there.
That's the structure of the game. Okay. So we have a scenario here. Ready to go.
So we're going to be playing key positions, 5 objectives. We are playing a first wave deployment. So we're not going to start with anything on the board other than infiltrators, which we'll explain in a minute. Units are allowed to go into reserve, and they can flank from reserve. So we rolled off. The Japanese won the roll off. They've picked the side of the table they want.
The side they're coming on this way.
The bottom of the screen. And I've put 5 units in the reserve. So in the bottom here, you can see I've got an infantry section here. One here. I've got a medic. And I've got the anti-tank gun being towed by a tractor. So that's 5 dice going into reserve. Everything else will be going in on first wave, which means my forward deployed, my infiltrators, the snipers and the spotters, we're going to set up before anything comes onto the board.
Are they going infiltrating?
The suicide bombers are going to infiltrate, so they will be hiding behind buildings or something, waiting for your horrible tanks to roll up.
Okay. I'm going to try and put strength on the board. So first wave with the units that can accept a veteran squad across here, riflemen, they'll go off, but I want to keep numbers on the table here to try and protect these tanks. So that's all been declared. So I think we alternate now, roll off and alternate placing infiltrators on the board.
Absolutely. Highest roll gets to place first. So here we go. That's a 6. That's going to be hard to beat. And it's a 5. There you go. So
I place the first one and then we just alternate until they're all done?
Exactly.
Okay. Any restrictions about how close you can be to each other and so on?
Yes, there are. You are not allowed to be within 12 inches of a unit that's on the board. So you can use that as a tactic. If there's a particularly good place to deploy, make sure you're within 12 of it and you can stop your opponent going in there.
Yeah. Okay. We'll do that now. All right. So forward deployment done. You can hardly see the models. They're all dotted about and hiding. So we have 1 mortar spotter just tucked in here. Russ says that the rules are you can only put a max of 1 unit per building, so you can't stack up units inside the same building. So 1 occupied here. I have another observer for the mortars just in here. Then my sniper team is just tucked in the bushes just here. Then for the Japanese, it had to be done. There's a sniper team on top. A good commanding view across the battlefield.
Mortar spotter over by that tree.
Oh yeah, it's just tucked in there.
Suicide bomber hiding away behind the building.
Second one.
Another one there. And then over here you've got the second sniper team.
See him? Yeah.
Nice. And the other mortar spotter. Sorry, mortar spotter. Light howitzer spotter.
Okay, right. So we'll move on now. The infiltrator's done. Okay, so all the dice go in the bag, except dice for units that are...
Oh no, they go in as well.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, but they can't come out on turn 1. So what you can do, you draw the dice, and you play them down. They're off the table, but they're played as down. So
Gotcha, yes.
It can be useful. If you have a couple of units off the table, you can just put your dice down on them and you don't have to play anything.
So you're letting your opponent make their moves first so that you can then react.
Exactly.
Okay, interesting dynamic. All right, so what happens now? Roll off? Who goes first or what?
No. Now what we do is we grab our dice bag.
Sorry, I'm in a different mode, yeah. We're going straight into...
So we grab our dice bag there. It's
Yes.
full of all the dice. Every single dice is in there. We're going to give them a good shuffle. And then we're going to draw them out. And we will start the game. So here we go. I'll give them a shake up there. Good etiquette to make sure you can't see in the hand here. And the first dice for the game. I'm holding this up here so I can't see it. And the first one is an American dice.
Okay.
So you, sir, can now do anything you want. That includes, you can bring a unit on. You can play a down dice on your flanking vets if you don't want to do anything yet. Or you can put an order on, say, your sniper and try and shoot something. Or he could go in ambush or whatever you want.
Yeah, all right. Immediately, I'm going to have a think about this one. Yeah, there's different options. I'm going to go straight to the sniper team. The only target really that they have is the forward observer, the spotter for the mortars.
For a light howitzer.
Light howitzer. Yeah, we'll have a go. We've got line of sight. We can see through to him. So we're just going to give him a fire order, which means sit still and shoot.
Okay.
Range,
Snipers.
just for reference, the range on a sniper rifle.
Range is 36 inches.
Got good
I
coverage.
think we're pretty happy that's going to be in.
All right.
And then snipers hit on A3. Ah!
And missed.
Not today.
Okay. And that's that unit activated and finished.
That unit has now finished for this turn.
Okay.
Second gold dice. So I've got 5 units in reserve. I don't want to do anything yet. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a down order on my tractor, the Roquet,
Yes.
and go and carry on with the game.
Yeah, draw the next one.
So next one is me again. I'll go down on the medium anti-tank gun.
See what you're doing.
And the reason I was doing that is, because I want to do that. I want to draw a dice and force the American player to go first.
So on the we're on the first turn of the game. First wave units can come in on turn 1.
They come on.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do what you're doing. So I'm going to go and select down for my single reserve unit. Draw another dice.
Over to you, sir.
Americans again. Okay, so what I've done is brought on a veteran squad of Marines, and I've used the advance order, so 6 inches, they've come on from the edge. I've set them up here so they can try and flush out that forward observer. We hope to have range here. Russ will check for us. There's a couple of rules that Russ has pointed out as well. You cannot have one unit within an inch of another unit, and also unit cohesion as well. You've got to keep models within an inch of another
correct,
model, right?
yes.
Okay. I've packed them tight because I like the idea of this building giving me a bit of potential shelter.
Furthest one away is still about 21 inches away, so he's in range. Now the kit out on that US unit is 6 rifles and 1 BAR. BAR has got a range of 30 inches, rifles 24, so they're all in range.
Okay.
They've all moved,
Yes.
so they're going to get a -1 for moving, so that means under version 3 they are hitting on 5s.
That's the vet squad.
This is the vet squad.
Okay.
We get 10 shots.
10 shots. Russ, just explain that for us. Shot for each rifle is 4.
There's 6 riflemen there, so it's 6. You then have a BAR, which is going to get 2 shots. So that's 8 dice. And then because you have 7 guys there, for every 3 Americans with a rifle,
Yes.
you get an extra dice. So you get an extra 2 dice. So you go up to 10.
Okay.
And you are now looking for 5 to get a hit on the vicinity of that poor spotter.
At what point do you react with a down? If you are, I'm just wondering.
Well, he's a spotter, so he counts as down all the time anyway.
Oh,
He
right.
doesn't really do
Interesting.
anything other than it's
Okay.
hard to hit. So looking for 5s.
3.
Right, so you've got 3 hits, and the next thing we do is we roll to wound. So you're going to need a 4 for a wound.
Okay. 4 ups. 2.
So 2 have hit, so I now have to make 2 saving throws.
Okay.
Now, the spotter, he is in light cover, which gives me a 5 up, but he counts as down.
Yes.
So that gives me a 4 up. So I'm looking for 4s. So I'm going to roll next to this. And I've got a 6 and a 3, so 1's failed, and that means the spotter is gone. So he doesn't count as a unit because he's spotting for a unit.
Yes.
I'm going to dig him out, but he is dead in the first flood.
Flushed him out.
Open field.
So yeah, so the impact now for the howitzer team is they'll be doing direct fire only. Is that right?
That's right. They can
Okay.
fire indirect, but only over their own sites. If that makes sense.
Initially, not too bad here. We'll go on now to keep rolling these dice out. Keep drawing them out of the bag.
Lisa. Ah.
Americans again. Okay. All right, next up, I've brought one of the Shermans on, so it's part of a platoon, but Russ says you can split the vehicles up. Could I can't bring both on together, though.
No,
because they are individuals.
Exactly.
All right, okay. So really just having to take two vehicles, that's more structural thing. They're not having to hang around with each other and
It's just
so
the
on.
structure of the unit.
Okay, so they can act independently now. So I've come on 9 inches. You can run with these, 18, or go half, which is advanced, which is up to 9. So I've gone here, 9, advanced order. We've been talking about the weapons. There's a 45-degree angle here for the bow machine gun, and then the heavy machine gun on top, the turret machine gun, and the main howitzer. That's 360 with the turret. So I've come on, got myself here, and the intent, if it's possible, is to try and shoot into the tower with the snipers.
So we've got another decision to make here as well. So the pintle on top, if you fire it, your vehicle becomes open top because your guy's stuck his
Stand
head out
outside.
to fire it.
Understand, yes.
That means...
No, I'm not going to shoot. I'm not going to do that. Don't like that idea.
Okay, because that would mean light weapons could put pins on the tank. They can't
Yes.
kill it, but they can pin it.
Right.
So what you could do though, you've got your whole NMG.
Yes.
You've then got your coaxial NMG. So you can fire the whole NMG. You've then got a choice. Do you fire the coaxial NMG or do you try and fire the howitzer at the building and blow up the building? And the guys
Could
in
do.
it?
Yeah. Can I do howitzer and the bow machine gun?
Absolutely.
I'll do
So
that.
we-
Yeah, we'll
Which
do that.
range I'm pretty certain they'll be in. So measure from the edge. Yep, they're in. They're at good range. Okay, so you've moved. So you're going to need 5s to hit for the MNG shots and also for
Howitzer.
the howitzer.
So we talk about a change in the rules for 3rd edition, like a realistic one, and that's there is a limitation on the amount of shots coming from vehicles. So it's half the amount that it would have been for infantry.
That's absolutely right.
Okay.
For machine guns.
So what's the options then? What's the firepower
So-
we've got?
So we've got the whole mounted MNG. That will put out 3 shots.
Okay.
And it's looking for 5s to hit.
3 4s
So not quite. And now the howitzer is looking for a 5 as well
on a single shot.
on a single shot.
No pressure. Yeah,
No,
I missed.
All fire away missing. Sniper sitting there happily for the moment.
All right, done. Platoon, I brought him on just in advance, so moving up behind the tank.
You shoot.
Yeah, I brought another section here, advancing. This is a regular unit. And we're going to check range. The intent is to try and flush out the sniper in the tower. Checking for range 24.
Oh, goodness me. They are just in. Just in.
All right, so we're going to get some rifle shots. It's going to be hard to flush them out. You've got a decision to make about...
Do I want to
At
go
what point?
down?
At what point do you decide to go down? Immediately I declare my shooting.
When you declare shooting, I then target reacts.
Right,
So I
gotcha.
decide whether I'm not going to go down because he's feeling confident.
Okay.
So you're going to get 2. You've got 6 riflemen and a BAR. So that's 6 shots from the rifleman, 2 shots from the BAR for 8 shots.
Yep.
And then
Bonus
you get
2.
Bonus 2. So you're getting 10 shots.
Is there any difference in shooting between regular and veteran?
No, they're both trained to shoot. The difference between the two is it's harder to kill a veteran. You need a 5.
Okay.
Regulars need a 4, and their morale is better. So
Okay.
looking for 5s.
4.
Right. So that sniper, he is a regular. But he is in hard cover, he's in a building, so instead of a 4, you're going to need a 5 to kill him.
It's possible.
Ew,
it is on a
goodness me.
triple
3. I need to make 3 saving throws.
Triple 6.
Now, I'm in hard cover, which is a 4-up save,
Okay.
but also he's an infiltrator, so whenever he gets a save, he gets +1. So I'm looking for 3s. And he's dead.
Got him.
Wow.
Is that him and his buddy?
Both of them gone. You've killed 2
Yeah.
then.
If I'd have caused 1 wound, you could have just removed 1 model and kept
Exactly.
another one alive.
Exactly.
Okay.
And
So
then take an order test. And if he passes it, I keep the unit. But you have just destroyed your first dice.
okay. All right. So dice for me. I've done a run order on a mortar team, and that's a 12-inch move. So we've come straight on just to get up right behind this building. Bear in mind, I think we've got an observer just tucked in here. So the observer for them is just inside that building. Yeah, Russ has been putting dice over onto units, but all reserves have now had dice allocated to them. He's had to go onto units, so we've got a sniper team going into ambush.
And they're going to sit there in case you bring anything onto the board in that area.
Okay. Yeah, next up, Japanese move. It's a platoon officer running up behind the building. US dice next. I've done a run move, brought on the mortar team. Bear in mind the spotter for that team is just tucked inside this building. Bazooka teams, come on. I've done a run move up to 12 inches, so just running them ahead here. Without Japanese armour on the board, they're not too much use. Okay, a rifle section. Quite a lot of bodies. On they come. That's a run move, I take it.
That's a run move.
Okay, here they come. Bayonets fixed, I take it.
Oh, yes. For example, you've got a block of 3 infantry units there. Getting him in
I'm
there.
going to do that. Yeah, we're talking about the medic. Yeah. So I'm going to bring him on. I just need to do a move here. I'll stick him in the bushes. Just with an advance, we'll do it. And that's him done. He grants like a feel no pain kind of bonus here to infantry models within 6 inches.
That's right. So as well as their saving throw that they get anyway, if they die and they fail their saving throw, they get another 6-up saving throw.
Yeah, that's an efficient way of using him, I think. All right, so medic done. What's he called again? An air observer.
Forward air observer.
Okay, I brought him on here, just scratching the back of the Sherman. Yeah. Japanese unit now, officer team moving up in support of the infantry sections. Come on. Okay. So what we'll do is we're going to work our way through all of these units. It's quite slow going in the early turn where you're thinking about where to bring units on and so on. And then we'll give you an aerial view and we'll point out where everything is on the board here, just working our way through. Most of the units now are on, most activations have been done. So Russ has brought on an infantry section across here. Now you'll see that they're not tight in against cover, but the rules are if half the unit is within hard, you'll get it.
I'll get hard cover. You have to see over half the unit when firing at it.
So if he was shot from here, for example, because half the unit gets cover, the unit gets it.
That's the idea behind it.
Okay, so it's worth keeping terrain on your radar here, just to protect your angles here. And it's done the same with this section here. Some models are in the open, but most of the units tucking in against the hillside. Right, Russ is now bringing on a howitzer, being pushed onto the board. It can go up to 6 inches. What's it called?
This is called a spigot mortar. Okay. So it's a rather weird weapon.
Yeah, it's late war. A weapon that the Americans feared.
Yeah, it's a
spring-loaded rocket.
Basically, yeah, there's a 320mm warhead. So very, very big warhead. Didn't have a lot of scatter effect. Tended to make very big holes.
Right.
And made like a whistling noise as it came in. So the Americans started to recognise it coming in.
Yes.
Lots of concussion, so in game terms, this thing puts lots of pins,
which will explain when we come to a bit of shooting. If any pins occurred, I suppose units I've shot at have been killed, so yeah.
You haven't really seen pins yet.
Yeah, so pins is a major element of the game, which we'll hopefully see as we get into some more shooting. Okay, a couple of activations for the Americans. First up, putting the platoon leader inside the Jeep. It can hold up to 3 models, and then on the second activation, second dice coming through, just bring it on and reaching here. Russ has an activation next.
We're running to here.
Okay, suicide bomber on the move with a run order. Japanese officers moved on, running 12 inches, heading off towards the objective. So looking at the Americans, I'm getting the impression that it's all right bringing stuff on, and I've shot a few targets, but to methodically work your way through the board, flushing out targets, would take some skill and coordination. Working your way around buildings, getting to units and clearing them. It's no good me forming a camp across here. I've got to flush out units, secure and hold objectives to the end of the game. It's going to be interesting how we go about doing that. Japanese have brought up a second wave of infantry, so they're massing across that side of the board. And it's the American dice next. As activating and running on with a regular infantry section across here. We've almost finished our first turn of activation. We've got a Sherman still to come on. And there's a howitzer as well. Who's next?
Me.
It is, okay.
So it's going to be the howitzer. I'm going to roll them on. They can come on 6 inches.
Okay. Right, so the final move for the Americans is to bring on the Sherman. I've put it here, going 9 inches like the other. And we've got ourselves a shot, or line of sight at least, towards the howitzer.
So I'm going to check. So are we going to fire? What do you want to fire?
the turret gun for sure, and the
Turret gun.
bow machine gun if it's in range.
So the medium howitzer, and then if it's in range, the whole gun. So have a quick look. They're both in.
Okay.
Okay, so the whole gun, both need 5. So you've got 3 shots from the whole machine gun. Looking for 5s. 2 hits. So let's do that first. So now you need 4 ups to kill.
Ah, 2 threes.
So it is our first pin. You put a pin on them, you hit them.
So how does a pin work? I've hit you twice, you saved twice. Oh, sorry, no, I hit you twice but failed to wound you.
That's right. So because you've hit me, I take a pin.
1 pin,
Which
yeah.
I've done, and that will affect me when I try and take an order test. I need to pass an order test, and I get a -1 for the pin.
Yes.
It also means I get -1 if I fire.
Helpful, okay.
That is why there is an artillery officer there to help them out.
And you can take multiple pins on one unit.
Absolutely, up to
Okay.
the total morale. But you do still have 1 more shot as well.
Howitzer,
This is a dangerous one.
shot in the dark. Oh, it
It's
does.
a hit. That is nasty. Okay, so your howitzer, it will be 2-inch template. Actually, it's a medium howitzer, it'll be a 3-inch template. You are going to hit all 3 of those guys.
So I'm trying to hit crew then, basically.
Yeah, and you get a plus to kill. So you need 2s to kill.
Bad.
So 2 are dead. Now I do get a save. No, I don't. I don't get saving throw from a gun shield against HE. So you've killed 2 of them. So 2 men are dead.
Right.
I now need to take an order test. See if they want to stay there.
Right, it's like a morale
First
test
of
here.
all, you are going to check because howitzer is more effective. HE is more effective for pins. So you're going to do D3 pins. So if you roll 3, 4, 5, or 6, I'll add 1 or 2 pins to that. And roll.
Oh, cock dice.
So I'll add a pin. So you get this chap here. He is probably not within 6 of his officer. No, so he's not going to get the benefit of the officer. I'm misplaced. So I need to roll. So his leadership is 9. It's going to drop to 7 because he has 2 pins. So I need a 7 or lower, or he's going to run away. And it's a 4. There you go. He doesn't care. So he's going to stay. But he's got pins.
All right, not too bad strike yet, and that marks the end of the first turn. All right, so the turn comes to an end, and we put the dice back into the bag
Exactly.
and start turn 2.
It's to me.
Right,
so.
Russ is going to move. We've got a dynamic we want to talk about with the mortars. Notice that I've got a mortar here, I have the spotter inside here. Now it's a shared dice between them. So for example, if I want to move the spotter, say I run him into this building, for example, it means the mortar won't get to shoot. So there is that decision to be made. It's a shared dice. If I fire here, I'll not be able to move with the spotter. So interesting dynamic going on between the observer and the artillery unit. Russ has activated the howitzer. Direct shot across here. I've got more models that can be seen and out of cover. So it's a dangerous hit. If it hits, would be a 4. So I've reacted by going down to try and preserve life here. Here comes the shot. Single dice. 4 will hit. And it is a hit. Right. Okay. The template's been used. It's a 2-inch. It's this one here.
Yeah.
And it looks like 4 men. You just try and maneuver the template around to get the maximum number of
and
models.
I've got 5 if I go there because that 2-inch template overlaps 5 guys. So as you can see that there.
No worries. Okay.
Okay, so now we halve that because you're down. So instead of hitting 5 people, I'll hit 3.
So it's halved, rounding up.
And I need 2s to kill.
Yes.
So I've killed 2 people,
Yes.
but they get their saving throw. They need a 5 up.
No.
Oh, so 2 are dead.
Lost 2. Yeah, we've seen effects of HE already. D3 pins. And it's
2 pins.
Okay.
So 2 men dead, 2 dead.
So models removed, 2 of them. I get to pick, unless I'm up against something like a sniper where you would pick. No.
The sniper does, yeah.
Yeah, sniper does, yeah, okay. And then 2 pins just represented by these markers across here. So 2 casualties, 2 pins. It's a good strike from the howitzer. American activation. Sitting still with the Sherman this time. I'm going to fire into that howitzer.
Oh, yeah, definitely going down.
Going
as well.
down. I'm going to try and finish him off.
Cover. Okay, so looking for 4s. Because you haven't moved, you need 4s to hit.
So machine gun, we know it's in range because nothing's changed.
So 1 hit.
Okay.
So you now need a 4 for a kill. No.
No.
But it is another pin, so I'll add it for the moment. But if the big gun hits, it could be even worse.
Yeah, the big gun will hit on a 4.
Yes, you need a 4 for.
No. Missed.
Okay. So he's still alive this turn.
We've done some shooting, and what I want to know is how you're figuring out the hitting. So
Oh, right, I see. There is a base to hit of 4 for
Okay.
regular and veteran units. They get a -1 if they move, so it would go to 5.
5s, yeah.
There's no long range or short. There's no long range anymore, so don't have to
That's
worry
it.
about that. That's it. It's very simple.
Okay.
If you are within 6 inches, you get a +2. So short range is very beneficial in this game.
Right. So, okay. Interesting. So, like assaulting a trench with SMGs at close range would be quite effective.
Yeah,
Quite
absolutely.
brutal.
Get those machine guns into people's faces. They are nasty.
Okay. Right. The big mortar at the back. These are 6 to hit these. Now, why are you hitting on 6s?
Right. Okay. When you fire an indirect weapon,
That's another -1.
it needs to hit. No. It's a different system.
I'm sorry.
So indirect weapons hit on a 6. However, if you miss, next turn if I fire again, I'm now hitting on a 5. It's called zooming in, and
Yeah.
if I then roll again, it's a 4. So they progressively get more likely to hit as they zone.
Correct
into
the
their
fire.
target.
Understand,
So,
yeah,
So
got
we're
it.
looking for a 6 here. A big naughty weapon looking for a 6. It's got a 3. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the dice down to remind myself that next turn.
You're progressively going to be improving, yeah. Okay. So firing's commenced. We've escaped this one, but the accuracy will increase. So, sorry, question.
Sorry, yes.
If this squad moves,
If they move, if they are more than 2 inches away from where they were,
yes,
I no longer zoom. So if
you're
they
starting afresh.
exactly, I have to start again. So mortars are very good at making people move.
Okay, which I think is realistic enough. You couldn't stay where you are, you had to keep moving. All right, before you were zeroed in by artillery mortars and so on. I'm going to turn fire. So my observer's here, mortar here, and it's going to go after that howitzer. So we need a 6 as we kick off our firepower. We've got one. Ha! Happens occasionally.
That's going to get all 3 of them because
Yes.
it's a 2-inch template.
2-inch template.
So killing on 2s.
Ooh.
Oh, 1 dead. Sorry, 2 dead. There's no saving throw against indirect HE if you're in the open. So that is 2 men dead. So now you have to roll for pins. You're going to do D3 pins.
Because it's HE. Just the one.
Just one, okay. So it's 1 pin, which I put on, and now I've got to make that morale test. Now, he normally would need an 8, but his officer is within 6, so the officer gives him a +2.
Okay.
So he looks 10 or lower, and he's rolled a 10, so the officer has saved him.
Okay. And if you'd have failed, you run off the board.
He would have run off the board and abandoned the gun.
Okay.
So if you can't see it, you can't see it. So
Yeah, that's fine. That's all right. We're talking about another rule here. So mortars, artillery, indirect fire units, basically. You cannot shoot at units you cannot see, with either directly with the unit itself or the observer, showing the importance of observers. So, for example, my observer's here, mortar team's here. Either of those two cannot see the infantry section, so we can't just say, I'm going to shoot at them. They have to be seen to be shot at.
absolutely.
Yeah, that was a move, by the way. So a run move
sorry.
here, and then an officer on a run move as well. So the Japanese now reaching halfway up the board, using terrain to their advantage.
Cheers.
Activation here, Japanese officer moving up to the objective. Right, activating the mortar team. Observer's just in this window. He can see the officer. 6 up as we try and zero in.
Oh!
Another one.
Okay, so you need a 2 up to kill him.
Well. No! Oh, please. Right, okay.
Right, you hit him, so you do still put pins on him.
D3
D3 pins,
for 2.
the 2 pins, and you're now hitting him on a 2. So if he's still there next turn, you only need to roll a 2, and he's going to get whacked again.
Why 2? Because I've successfully
Because you have
hit.
zoomed in with a gun. Yeah. So
Right.
so when you successfully hit, instead of needing a 6, you now only need a 2.
Just repeating the
You've
same
ranged
coordinates. All right, gotcha. Russ is going to guide us through, so I want to pivot this vehicle to get to here so I can see that howitzer.
Okay, so on an advance order, you are allowed to pivot 45 degrees twice. So you could do one big 90 degree, or just there you go.
And
That's
I've,
2 pivots.
and I've still got my
probably.
9.
And you've got your 9
All right, well, I'll just go to there
there.
and I'll pivot again.
Yeah, you can. You probably did pivot about 45. That's probably fine. Yeah. So go to there. So
Is that
we're
all
having a
good?
friendly game, so we're not being super strict on measurement, but that's fine by me.
Okay,
And he's now got himself in a nice position. So
sorry, so going back to here, when I'm measuring, I just pivot the vehicle or I measure from a corner of the vehicle?
You mesh from the middle of the vehicle, which strangely enough on the pivot
Yeah.
Which means if you pivot well, you can actually get an extra bit of extra distance on your move.
Right, okay. But that's
yeah,
all good.
Yeah, that's all good. Yeah, he's moved in there. It's more or less, so he's done his pivots
Yes.
that he's allowed. And he's now lined up for a shot. So is he firing at the...
I know that's in range. This one must be.
Yep. Okay, so he's going to be hit on 5s because he's moved.
I'd like to...
Oh, so you're thinking about using the...
Hopping out and firing the pintle, yeah. I'll do it to illustrate for everyone watching.
Go for it. So, okay, if we fire the pintle first, that's going to be... It's a heavy machine gun.
Yes.
It's 3 shots, hitting on 5s.
Got one.
Got one. Right, let's do that one first then. So now roll, you need a 4 to kill, so you get +1. That'll do it. Now he's +1 to kill, so you've killed the guy. Killed him outright.
Gun shield?
Get a saving throw. Yeah, let's see if I can save him. Right, he is also down, so he gets 4 upside here.
Okay.
You saved it.
Yeah.
Okay, right. So the other hole-mounted MNG will get 3 shots as well.
No.
Misses, and then you got finally. Do you want to fire the hole-mounted, the coaxial MNG, 3 dice, or would you rather fire the big gun?
No, we'll do the machine gun this time.
So little 3s, sorry, 5s.
Oh, missed.
No, it's a miss.
Sit still next time. Just an advanced move on the air observer. Just shifted a few steps to his right. That's all with him.
I'm going to try and bring on one of my reserve infantry sections. So I need to roll for this.
Okay.
So when you bring an infantry section on, for me, I need to roll and get a -1 to their order level. So a regular unit for the Japanese needs to roll an 8 or lower to come to the board. Americans have a special rule, which means they don't get the -1 because they're very good at manoeuvre. Right, so here we go, looking for an 8. A 10! So they go down and they refuse to come onto the board for the time being.
And where would they have come on turn 2?
Your
back
anywhere
edge.
on my back edge, yeah.
Gotcha. And then turn 3 is the flanks, right?
Exactly, if I put them in flank.
So we had a dice, just went down with these, the reserve veteran squad.
Okay, my second infantry section. So I failed with the first. The second one's going to try and come on as well.
again. Okay.
This needs an 8 as well. A 7! So they're coming on. I'm going to get a run order. And they're going to come up this flank. They're going to try and cover the flank for the other infantry section.
Okay.
Coming here.
So that's the full unit on. An officer's just ran onto the board as well.
Yeah, he's just backing up slightly to help support these 2 units.
Yeah, there's an officer here. He's then backed off
come on here,
for
yeah.
morale purposes.
And I'm now going to put the second wave, the second section. This platoon is going to run up behind this unit here in support. And it's not just moral support. They are up to stuff. So they're moving up into that centre.
He's building up for a charge here. We sense it. Using cover very effectively. Okay, medic running on to the board.
There's nothing you can do anyway.
Yeah.
You can't go down.
Sniper across here activated and attempted to shoot at my spotter. We've already done a fire order, so I couldn't react and go down and so on. 3 to hit, but Russ rolled a 1. Alright, infantry section continuing to move up. They were back there and they've moved off towards the hill. Notice what Russ is doing, keeping models partially in cover just to try and make it more difficult for American firepower. Russ has then rolled up successfully to bring on the anti-tank gun, which has turned up just there, still in tow.
And it's now going to deploy. So it has to be within 6.
So, yeah, guide us through this. So your tractor comes on first.
The tractor is dragged on in tow, the gun. I then drew another order dice.
And activated the gun
So
itself.
I'm activating the gun itself. So I'm activating
interesting.
the gun.
Has to deploy within 6 of the tractor.
I think you know what we're after here.
Yes, okay.
So I'm going to put the crew.
So dice drawn at the start of next turn will be important, I'm guessing, to see if that anti-tank gun can let off a shot, and the same for the tanks if they can get their shots in first.
Indeed.
Okay.
Indeed. So what about the dice orders? Here we go. See what we'll get next.
Veteran squad pushing forwards to shoot at the squad that's just advanced there.
So I've got 1, 2, 3 there behind the hill, kind of getting hard
Oh, you're getting
cover.
cover, yeah.
And I think, I think I've got over half of them in hard cover.
Yeah.
But you're going to need the ones that can see, which I think is all of them. They're going to need 5s, but let's make sure they're all in range. So we measure to the nearest visible. Yep, they're all in. They're all good. So you have there, same as maths as before. You're going to get 10 shots. Yep, 10 shots from these chaps. Looking for 5 to hit. Excuse me.
4.
4 hits. So now you roll 4 dice for kills. Looking for 4s to kill.
3.
3 are successful. I now get a saving throw. I'm getting hard cover there, so I need a 4 up.
Okay.
So 2 dead.
Okay, 2 brought down.
And a pin, which I put on already.
And a pin because you took a casualty or because you were hit?
Because I was hit. So the pin is just for being hit.
Okay.
It's to represent people getting their heads down and taking
Sure.
cover and trying not to be shot.
An advanced move with the medic. Right, we're coming towards the end of a turn here, so I've put this little bazooka team on ambush, just watching our horizons, just in case a suicide bomber tries to attempt to charge. Yeah, so he's just there, you see.
He's going to sneak up a little bit more, stay behind that building.
There's a trick that I've seen in the previous game with Russ, and that was right at the end of the turn. He brought out, it's a great move, suicide bomber, made a full-on run, right at the very end of a turn, and then if you can draw the first dice on the following turn, you can then activate him again and send him in. I've seen it done. It's done to me last time. So on ambush with that small squad, that's the reasoning behind that.
Excellent.
Okay.
The last 4 dice to you.
4 activations left. They're all American. So a few things going on the last few dice. Just a slight move here with the officer, and then going down on the model inside. I choose down on the model inside. And then advance, which I've actually reversed. There's no point, I don't think, in pushing it forward, so keep it out of trouble for now. Right, so my last move is with the sniper team. They're kind of boxed in, surrounded by units that we can't shoot through, so we've relocated and gone to the end of the terrain just here. That's all units activated, and turn 2 finished.
Indeed.
All right, we'll go on to the 3rd turn of the game. And it's always 6 turns, right? Or do you...
It's in some scenarios, after 6 turns, you roll a d6, and on 4 up, you play a 7.
Okay.
In tournaments, there's normally a time limit. So if you use all your time up and you've only played 5 turns, you don't get your 6th turn.
Okay. So end of turn, we're going to give you an overview of the board here, just to get an idea, a flavour of what's going on. Japanese units pushing forwards, making use of terrain. A cluster of artillery of different types being set up over there. US forces forming a line across here, and this is not going to win us the game. At some point we've got to push out onto these objectives, but it would be mad to surge forwards into the Japanese. It's got to be a methodical process working our way through, and doing so in strength. How we do that, we'll have to see. We may well get jumped on before we have a chance to push out further. We'll go on to the 3rd turn of the game, and we'll give you some views of the table next. So here we go. First up was Japanese officer. So it was a leadership requirement to get him to get up and move.
Yes, that's right. He needed 9, and he rolled
10. So
10.
he's stuck where he is.
So he's gone down and sat there waiting for the mortar to come.
Yeah, he's been zeroed in by the mortar. It'll be hitting him on a 2 next time. So he needed to move, but he hasn't.
He's anti-tank.
Yeah, so Russ has drawn a 2nd dice, which is great for him. He's going to get the first shot here in this anti-tank gun versus tank exchange.
So I need a 4 to hit.
Could you set still?
He's missed.
3, yes.
3.
That's it.
That's it. He's in trouble now.
Okay. Could shoot him straight back. We've got an American activation next. We'll use this one. We'll go after that anti-tank gun. 4s with the main gun. It's nasty enough, and then we'll support with machine gun fire that's available. And I'll carry on shooting with the gun on top as well, the heavy machine gun. Yeah. So so you take the dice, you put it next to the unit. So I'm going to take a fire order, sit still, and just offload of everything that we have. I go that howitzer first. A 4?
Go for it.
Yes.
Right. So you'll get all 3 of them because.
The template will cover them. Yeah, 2-inch.
So now you need 2s. 1.
Oh, I escaped.
Okay, right. So that means 1's dead.
Yeah, 1 slain. Gun shield won't protect
And we'll do
against that.
D3. Oh no, it's direct, not indirect. So he get a cover save. He needs a 5 up though.
Oh, right, okay.
No, so he's gone. Now you roll D3 pins.
1.
It's a pin. So okay, so it's still in the gun. Still in the gun.
Machine guns.
Go for it, machine guns. So right, roll 3 at a time because the heavy machine gun gets +1 penetration, so it's more likely to kill. So we do heavy machine gun first.
First, yep.
Looking for 4s. That's
1
hit. So now you're looking for a 4 to kill, 3 to kill. Sorry.
Yes.
Yep, you kill 1. Now I get my saving throw. I need a 5 up.
5 because it's -1.
So 1's gone. Okay.
Yep.
And then if you want to fire the other gun, the other machine gun, this is your chance to finish him off.
So question. Sorry. Do I give you another pin?
No, because
It's all come from the same unit.
One unit can only
Kick out
get
one
one
pin.
type of pins. Yeah, yes, you can't
fine.
get pins for different guns
No problem.
from the same unit. So final chance, looking for 4s.
Triple 3.
Right, now I need to take a leadership test, however, because I'm now under half strength. I lost 2 men.
Yeah.
I now need to test. Now he would normally be -1, so you need 8 or less, but he's within 6 of an
Of his
officer.
officer, yeah.
So he needs a 10. So I'll roll it here. And he's fine. He's decided to stay in the fight.
Okay. And how many times would you be forced to take a leadership test?
Every turn. Every time you're hit,
Yeah.
and you lose
A casualty.
half your men. So if you had 6
Right.
men and you had 3 men killed, that would mean you take a test. Next time, if you've got 3 men and you lose 2 men, you take another test. So
Yes.
every time you lose half your force, you take an order test.
Okay.
The next one within 6. So
Right.
you could try and get an officer there first and then test them, but obviously it delays you.
This officer here is inside the vehicle. Will his leadership still count?
It does now under the it does. So you could just turn the truck round and get him within 6.
Yeah, we'll do an advance on the truck then.
Okay.
Relocating to get myself within 6. I'm going to try and help these out here.
Yep.
And now I'm going to try and help that unit. So another American dice. I want these to advance. That's the intent, but I've got to pass the morale test.
So you'd normally need a 7, but the officer there means they go to a 9. So they need a 9 or lower to pass
Pins?
the test. Yeah. Pins are -2, so they're regular troops, so they normally need a 9.
Drop to 7.
Pins drop them to 7, but then the
Back to
officer
9.
gives them. Yeah. And they've behaved good. So you remove a pin because you've successfully passed the test. 1 pin comes off,
Okay.
which is nice, and then they can do whatever you want to do. I'm going to take some risks here.
Okay, so this squad's moved across here. We've got another dice that's come up. I've sat still, just going to go for fire straight into the same squad as last time. 10 dice. 4s, I take it, if I've sat still.
4s.
We've been plastered by
Ouch.
hits coming through. 8
Right,
hits.
so you're now looking for 4s to kill.
And it's nasty enough. 4.
So I now need to make 4 saving throws. Now I'm in hard cover, so I need 4 ups. Okay, 2 dead in the end. 2 dead, I'll take that. And a pin, which I've added.
Yeah, so Russ didn't react. He wanted to keep the unit on its feet, ready to move out. Mortar, zeroing in on the same target, the officer that didn't move. 2 up.
2, go for it.
Yep.
Yeah, now you need another 2 up.
Oh, come on, he's
So
escaped.
3 pins.
Can't get him. 3.
So he's on 5 pins. He's got shells dropping everywhere. 3,
Sniper, same target.
hit him. Right, now he needs a 3 to kill him because he get +1.
No, he
So he's
escaped
just put
as
a pin
well.
on him.
Right,
You need-
onto Russ's artillery. This gun across here with 1 crewman left.
He'd normally need an 8, but because he's got the officer there, he needs a 10. So he's done it, so the pin's off.
Okay.
But because he's down to 1 man, he gets -1 to fire. Now he's going to fire the gun at yeah, I'm gonna fire at this American team here. I can only see a couple of them.
Yep.
It's enough to fire, so I need a 5. Ooh.
Ooh, okay. Malta team going after the same gun as last time. So 5+, it improves by 1.
Oh, he's done it
hits it.
again. So 1 dice, can you kill it? 2 ups. It's dead.
That's it. Saved,
Guy
no?
there.
Oh, abandoned gun then. Okay. Sniper team, no real target for us. They're hidden behind that terrain, so we've ran them across here 12 inches.
2 pins.
So an order on this unit. So sorry, you're rolling orders because you have a pin. You always have to try and roll an order if you have a
If
pin.
you've got pins on you, you need to take all the tests. So
Right.
they've got 2 pins, so they need to get 7 or lower. And they've got 9, so that means you're going to go down. So every time you fail an order test, the unit just goes down and takes cover instead.
Right, okay.
It won't do anything else.
So you're almost semi-reacting to what you've received.
Either way,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Okay.
You know, the pins suppress them effectively, and in the end, they're suppressed to the point where they're refusing orders and just taking cover.
Okay. This squad ambush. Next up, tractor on the move, just pushing towards
cover.
Bit of cover, yep. Officer into ambush. Japanese dice again.
Officer team, can just move up to here.
Infantry squad activated, pushing around the corner, but cautious though, because we have the squad on ambush. They've reached here, just out of line of sight, getting as close as they can, but not being exposed to our firepower. Now being followed by a second infantry section moving around. So a lot of Japanese bodies there. Officer moving up, and then across here, a second infantry squad moving up. Russ is talking about when you run infantry, or units indeed, you to pair them up, working together as a team. One unit set in ambush, perhaps one unit advanced, and so on. So units can work together. It's better to have units working together as opposed to being isolated on their own. Reserve infantry unit coming in, so 3 of them now working together. That's a run move from them. Medic just backing off out of the way into the cover. Japanese dice keep being drawn. Suicide bomber here just going down, doesn't want to bring him out. Same with the artillery piece across there, another down order being given, and it's now an American activation. Ambush with this small bazooka team. The air observer, I had to move him. For him to bring in air support, it has to be a fire order. He has to be sitting still, and from where I was, I had no line of sight, but I've gone to here so I can see past the tank and up towards the artillery. Ambush on here.
That's right, so you've got 2 left in there. Oh, I've just pulled my last one. So that goes down, and then what I'm going to do with the last one, we'll run order on this mortar team. I say it's mortar, it's actually an artillery piece.
Yeah.
And I'm going to recrew that gun.
Interesting, yeah.
And these guys are going to go and support and recrew that gun.
Wow.
Okay, which they can do. So.
All right, recrewing. Yeah, the 2 machine guns.
Okay.
And the main.
Oh, so it's the coaxial machine gun, so it's only got 2 machine guns. So 6
shots of machine guns. Just go machine guns, going to go after the howitzer.
So force to hit.
Yep, so that's still.
Ah, actually, are you in range? Machine gun. For that one. Yeah, you're in. You're in. So that's a lot of hits.
Wounding. Oh, it's not bad.
4 saving throws required. Okay, so he's got light cover from the gun shield, and he is down. So he needs, I believe, that's 3 ups.
Sure.
No, that's not going to do it. He's dead.
Decrewed.
So another dice. Another dead man.
Okay. So we're going to halt the game here. This is just a demo game, a flavour to give you an idea of 3rd edition. Hopefully we've explained a lot of the mechanics going on at a basic level, also some more of the intricacies of the rules as well. Keep a lookout for more. Hopefully we'll do some more battle reports here for Bold Action 3rd edition. This one, Japanese versus United States Marine Corps, brilliant flavour of a game. I hope to bring you some variety as we expand the battle reports on the channel. Big thank you to Russ Wright for helping with this game, and we look forward to seeing him again on the channel. Thanks for watching. Tune in next time.